Hello, guys. We can get started, guys. First of all, thank you for joining in today's webinar. It's mainly about the recent upgrade that we have done to Xenett. Many of you have been asking us questions. Some of you were quite happy. Some of you had some confusion about how certain things to be done. So we thought it would be good to set up a webinar like this, wherein we actually can explain you guys how things should be done. And in case if you guys also have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat. I do have some of my colleagues have joined the call, so please leave your questions in the chat, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions. We are recording this webinar, so after that, you guys will be getting it. At the same time, we'll also be sending this recording to all of our users. All right. So let me share my screen, and then I'm gonna kind of walk you through as to what all different changes that we have done. Okay, just confirm if you can see my screen, and then we're gonna go from there.
Yes, we can see the
Okay.
screen.
Okay, perfect, perfect. All right. So let me first of all actually talk about what change that we have done and why we have actually done this change. Okay. So those of you guys who were using our to do module and the close module, um, we actually wanted to change. I mean, it had some areas where it was confusing to some of our users. So to give an example, the to do was primarily focusing on managing independent tasks, and then the close process was primarily to help you guys manage your close process, right? Now, with that, a lot of you wanted to also manage different kinds of projects. So let's just say if you wanted to track the client onboarding project, or if you wanted to track some specific project like cleanup project, or let's just say tax preparation project, there wasn't a way to do that. Also, the way the to do were being managed, like to do had statuses, and then the close to do, like inside the close module, you did not have any statuses, but you had sign off, right? So even at the task level, you had a different experience. Second thing is that at the close level, you did not have a way to create the subtask. Also, at the closed module level, in case the okay, at the closed to do level, the only option that you had was the sign off. In case if you wanted to have a like a custom statuses, for example, let's just say there were 5 tasks that had a different statuses like stuck because of you waiting on some information from the client. There wasn't a way to do that. Like you could not really define whether this particular task is on hold, is stuck, is progress, because the only option that you had was either it's done or not done, meaning whether it's a sign off or not sign off. So we have been getting a lot of this feedback from our customers. So the whole idea for launching this project module is to streamline and have just a common experience for all the kind of tasks. Okay, that is why we have a project module. Now you can actually create all the different kinds of project, whether it's your monthly close project, whether it's your routine bookkeeping related task, whether your onboarding, your migration, your tax preparation, so any kind of work that you want to do, Zenit will let you do that. Okay, so that is why we kind of wanted to make this change to standardize the overall task experience, right? And because of that, it also eliminated a lot of settings as well. Because if you guys remember, we had a two different settings, like one settings for to do, one setting for close, separate template for to do, separate template for close. So like there were again, the intention was more to simplify a lot of these things, right? Now, let me first of all talk about how exactly the workflow would happen in Zenit, and then we'll also talk about the specific use cases as to how you can now do things inside Zenit. Okay. Now I'm into this client called SRH Titans, and let's just say now I wanted to start the monthly close process. Okay. And here is how you can do that. So what you do, just click on new, click on project, and I'm gonna start with monthly close project. Okay, the project type is close, right? It's a default one that you will have it. You're already in this client. Now you can also assign the manager. It's optional anyway. So if you want to skip that part, you can do that. But the idea is that if you assign the manager here, eventually, if you wanted to find out like, hey, for this manager, I want to see all his project, that is where it's going to help. Okay. So for now, I'm just going to assign my name. Recurrence. This is quite important. Okay. Now this is monthly close. So obviously I'm going to select monthly. And this is where you link the accounting period, right? So right now I'm on 5th of June, and I wanted to actually do the close for May. So what I'm going to do for the accounting period, I'm going to select May. Okay. Start date. So it's going to be, let's just say June 5th, because that is when I want to start working on any monthly close project. And the due date, I generally, let's just say for this client, I generally close the books by 15th of the month, right? So what I'm going to say this after the start date. So that's going to be the 10 or 9. So that 10. So that way it's going to be 15th of the day. Now, this is also a new feature that's going to be very, very handy. Let me actually explain this one. So now with this feature, if you define like, let's just say 5 days, recur this project 5 days before the start date. What this would mean is like if you type in 2 or 3, right? So let's just say the very next project, that's going to be June. Okay. The June close. What it's going to do, it's going to actually start showing up in Xenett 3 days before it, right? So you guys can actually start planning it. In the previous Xenett version, there wasn't a way for you guys to actually automatically start the close process. So every time you would have to log into the client and you would have to actually manually initiate the close process. But with this, if you define the number of days, Zenit will automatically create that monthly close project for you. And this is all we are doing. It's one time. So like once you have set up your monthly close like that, that is it. You will never have to create any monthly close project in the future. So whatever I am showing you right now is just the one time thing that will have to happen for any new clients that you add. For all the existing clients that you already added, you don't even have to worry about this step. But any new clients that you add in the future, this is how you would be able to start the monthly close project, right? Now, just like that, if you say that, hey, I wanted to actually, this client, let's just say it's a quarterly close, all you simply have to do here, just simply select the quarterly or yearly or as the case may be. Okay. Here we are actually showing you the recurrence preview. Let me just see. You guys still with me? Vishal, if you can confirm.
Yes.
Okay, okay. I just wanted to make sure it's going fine. Here we have a recurrence preview where in case if you wanted to see like any future project, how that's going to look like. So here you can see the next project going to be June 25. It's going to start on July 5th, and then the due date's going to be July 5. So that will also give you some idea as to what my future project's going to look like. Okay. So now all you simply do is create and your project is ready, monthly close. Okay. Now, once you are inside that, you're going to see three options. Either you can add task manually, either you can import it from template, or in case if you have any similar project from which you would like to import it, you can also do that, right? Now, in this case, let's just say I already have a defined monthly close template, which I want to use. So I'm just going to select that. And then I'm just going to click on next. Okay, so all these are all my tasks. It's ready. Click on import. Now I'm gonna say, hey, for this particular client, I want to set my colleague as preparer and then myself as reviewer. And then I'm just gonna click on import. And within seconds, all of my tasks will then be imported from the template to this particular close. Okay. So this is where my close project is ready. Okay. Now inside the close process, like not close process as in like, but inside the project feature, we have also changed the terminology a little bit. So we are now calling this as section. Previously, we were calling it as folders, right? And if you guys remember, we also used to have a separate settings for the folders as well, but we have eliminated that. So the idea is that in case if you wanted to make any changes with any of these sections, you can just do it from here. Like you could just say, hey, I want to kind of like call it transactional um, fixed changes. I'm just gonna call it that way, right? So you can even rename it here. I mean, we have added some features as well, just in case if you wanted to add some sort of colors and things like that. Okay. So fundamentally, these are still your task, which is what you were getting it in the previous version as well. So these are the still same task, but with this, we also have now added more features. So like in this case, if you wanted to, let's just say any create any subtask. So let's just say I under undeposited funds, I wanted to create a subtask. You can also do it from here, right? So I'm just gonna say this feature was previously not available, but with this, you can now actually do it as well, right? In fact, even at the folder level, we have added some small enhancements where transactional changes, you wanted to add some task, you click here and then you can just create the task right from here. And not just even that, in case if you have, let's just say a client where you have plenty of tasks and you wanted to copy from Excel. So let's just say you have Excel file wherein you have some tasks and you just simply wanted to copy and paste. That feature can also be, used as well, right? So let me just show you. So let's just say I have task one, task two, like that. You can all you can do simply just copy from here and then just simply paste it and then like that's it. So anytime if you're setting up actually okay, you just click on create to new task. Okay, so this is how you can also do that. Okay, so fundamentally all I'm trying to explain you still have those tasks. It's just the a bit experience that we have improved. Okay, now let's just talk about the sign off process, right? Previously you had a sign off for individual person. What you did not have at that point is an ability to define whether a particular, like if you wanted to then put a specific customized status for any of this task, there wasn't a way to do that, right? Now, let me actually explain you. So let's just say I'm going into project settings. These are my close, and then I wanted to have a separate statuses for close. So for the close project, I wanted to introduce some more statuses at the task level, like ready for reviewer or in question or waiting on client. You can introduce some more statuses at the task level as well. Okay. How it will help? Let me show you. So when you are actually, let's just say at the task level, and then if you now wanted to actually now assign a specific status, like this particular task, I'm waiting on client. This particular task, I'm waiting on for ready for reviewer, right? This wasn't possible before because all you had was whether it's done or not done. Like you only had a sign off process, right? So that is something that's gonna be very, very helpful to you guys as well. The second thing is that with the sign off process, as I told you, you guys can now customize as well. You, if you don't want to call it prepare. So previously, you only had an options like a preparer and reviewer, but now in case if you want to rename anything or change anything, you can do that as well, right? So I would say previously you were doing like a sign off. Now you're just changing the statuses as well, correct? So that was like one change that happen with the close process. Otherwise, it's more of a look and feel that we have updated. Okay. I'm going to quickly check the chat just to see if there are any questions. I can address it. So let me just check. We have also added some more ability for you guys to create some custom views as well. So let's just say, previously there wasn't a way for you guys to create any custom views, but you could say, hey, out of this, let's just say 39 tasks, you want to create some custom views and you want to assign some custom filters. So you can also do that as well. So all you simply do, you can create a view. Like I'm just going to say a new view for now. And then it's a from view, meaning everyone will be able to see. My view, meaning only you will be able to see. Click on save. And then what you can then do, you can start assigning different filters and the view will then be created accordingly as well, right? So again, this is a new feature that we have added, right? But from the like fundamentally, I would say, like just to summarize this particular close process, the only thing majorly that has changed is your sign of experience and the look and feel. That's it. But otherwise, it everything remains same. Now, there was one feature that wasn't there before, which we have actually just enabled this morning, which is the strict sign off process, right? So in the previous version, the way it used to work is that only the people who are assigned the task could only like they could only sign off. Other people were not able to sign off. So now that feature is also available. So when you go to settings and then when you go to let me just see task settings, there's a way it says restrict task status. If you've enabled this, what's gonna happen is that whoever this particular task is assigned to, so in this case, it's assigned to Deepika and me, only two of us can change the status for this task. If anyone else is trying to change the status for this task, it's not gonna let them allow to do that, right? So that feature wasn't there, which we have just enabled it as well. Okay. So that's that. The rest of the things here, like you have a progress here, you have a notes, you have a review points. It's exactly the same thing. We have introduced activity feed as well. It's more of a log where you would be able to know who has done what at the project level. Like Hardik has imported the project, Hardik has deleted the project. Any and every activity that is done inside the project will be able to do that. Okay, so that's that. Um, Okay, all right. Any questions, guys? So far, feel free while I'm here. I can actually cover your questions as well. And Vishal or Nihir, like if you notice any questions as well on the chat, and if you would like me to cover here, I can do that as well. So any questions that you guys see in the chat?
No.
Not
As of
really.
now, nothing. Yeah, no.
Okay, okay, not a problem, not a problem. All right, so that's that. So let me just quickly see the next one. Okay, now just like that, guys, we have also made some improvements with the reporting as well. The first one is obviously we have added some more reports here. So previously there were only four reports that were there: profit and loss, balance sheet, and aging. But now you can actually can see a lot more other reports as well. Okay, so that's first of all is possible now, right? Second thing is we have also made some design changes as well. There were so many columns that you guys were able to see, but rather than showing them like in a different columns, we have just kind of introduced them in form of icon, right? So that's like it's the same feature. Again, it's more of a look and feel that we have changed. With each of these reports, uh, we have also have some settings like let's just say for profit and loss current period you wanted to edit some settings, you can also do the kind of changes here as well, right? So on reporting side, it's more of a look and feel, and the second improvement that we have done is added some more reports. Okay, so that's that. The third thing that we have done is like okay, taking you back here with the task, right? So we had a review note, and then we have a permanent note, and then we have comments. So we have tried to optimize that experience as well, because again it was like I mean so many columns on the UI. So we also tried to simplify that by merging it as well, right? So let me show you how that's going to work. So on balance sheet side, now you have a comments. So if you just let's just say on this particular account BBNT, you wanted to make some note, right? So all you simply do just type in. So this is this okay, this one, right? So you could just say, hey, the balance is negative because of whatever X, Y, Z, right? I mean, whatever the reason is, and then you just click on send. So that becomes your review note, pretty straightforward, right? So whoever is actually looking at this, they can look at the review note like that. Okay. Now you would just say, hey, I wanted to actually add some permanent note. That permanent note should always show up on that particular account. And here is how you do that. Again, all you do is that you don't have any separate column for that. You just simply click here and just type in the permanent note column. So let's just say I'm gonna say this is a permanent note. Okay, and then you just click on it. All you simply now do, just click on this pin button, and that becomes your permanent note, right? So as you can see here, this is your permanent note. Permanent note meaning for the next close. Let's just say when you start the June close, that note will also show up. This is a review note. Review note is specific to the close, meaning you are only looking at this in the May close, right? And then in case if you have actually a question that you wanted to ask your team member, all you simply do, you do the same thing. In this case, you could say, hey, this account is showing negative balance. You're going to ask, please look into why this balance is negative, right? And then what you do in this case, because it's a question you want to assign to someone, all you simply do, you're going to say, hey, I'm going to ask my colleague about it, and I'm just going to click on send, right? So now this becomes your question. So again, we did not feel like having so many columns, one for review note and one for comments and then one for permanent note. We actually been getting this feedback like it would be great idea to optimize this experience. So that is why we kind of thought would like let's just simplify it by merging them together. So now you have all of those information here in the comments column, right? So it's like if it's a review note, you can click on it and you can find it here. If it's a permanent note, you can also find it here, as you can see here. And then even if it's a question, you can also find it here, right? So that was the whole intention of simplifying this experience. And as you guys know, in case if it's a comment and if it's assigned to anyone else, like or any user, you'll always be able to find it here as well. Correct. So that experience will remain same. So that was one other change that we have done with the reporting as well. Okay. So that's that. And then let me just quickly check what else. Okay. So this
Hardik, there's a question from, sorry to interrupt. There's a question from Dave. Can you address that?
now let me just check. Okay.
So I'll just read it out.
Yeah.
We had tasks in individual clients with special evaluation values. Will that customization pull into the new Xenett? Can you show us how?
We had tasks in individual clients with special evaluation values. Will that customization pull into the new Xenett? Can you show us how? I'm not really sure, Dave, what exactly you mean by that. So, special evaluation values, will that customization pull into new Xenett? Can you show us that? Not really sure, Dave, about it. So again, if you want to elaborate while I'm explaining the next one, or I can actually reach out to you separately as well, and we can discuss about that as well. But yeah, wasn't actually sure about that. So any other, Vishal, any other point that you think I should cover?
Not really. We are answering those. If there's
Okay.
anything, I'll let you know.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. All right, guys. So, okay. Previous asking whether we have to fully reconfigure our previous reviews. Not really, Dev. You will not have to do anything with your existing clients as such. If you have set up if you guys were using a particular template, the template will still remain same. Okay, here is how I would say. For you guys, it's mainly the look and feel that have changed. You do not have to configure anything for your existing clients, right? If you have set up any templates, that will work the same way. If you have set up your clients closes in certain ways, your tasks certain ways, it will remain same way. So for your existing clients, nothing is going to change. The only thing that you guys would have to now do is whenever you add a new client, right? In that case, all you simply have to do just set up this close like this, and then that is it, right? Once you set up the close, which I just actually explained at the start of this webinar, that's the only thing, and it's one time thing that you have to do, and that is it. You don't have to do anything. So for your existing clients, it's still everything same. Okay, the only thing that has changed, as I explained, is that sign off experience. Otherwise it's all same. Okay. Perfect. Now I'm actually going to take you back again with the project, because now I also want to explain other use cases as well. So what we talked about until now is mainly the like monthly close process, right? But let's just say you wanted to create some project like onboarding project or routine bookkeeping project. Let me actually show you that as well. Okay. So when you are actually creating the project, there's an option for you to, let me actually show you. So let's just say I wanted to, in fact, with the project type. Okay, even before that, I would like to explain you something else. So previously you had the task statuses, and then you have like a close statuses. What we have also done here is we have kind of created like a one status view where you can have all the statuses here. Okay, whether it's a project level status or whether it's a task level status. So it's like a universal place where you can manage all of your different kinds of statuses. With the project type, you can actually introduce some more project types. So let's just say you're doing monthly close, you're doing your bookkeeping project, you are doing onboarding project, you're doing cleanup project, you are doing a text preparation project. Now in this case you can actually introduce the different project type. So I would just say, hey, onboarding project. Now for onboarding project you can decide which particular statuses that you would like to use, right? So I'm going to say not started, ready to start. So you can literally customize like what different statuses that you would like to use. Okay, even at the task level you could just say, hey, and this is again just the one time thing that you guys can actually configure it right now. In this case, let me actually explain you why it's important to have assigning statuses like that. Because in case of close, you may be having like a status is like finalized or reviewed. But in case of onboarding project, the reviewed statuses may not make sense. But in this case, like probably the completed status makes sense. So that way you can define. Now you have a full ability to decide for any particularly given project, you decide which statuses that you would like to use, right? So now I just created this project called onboarding. Now what we can do, I'm going to actually create the new project. So let me do that. I'm going to say onboarding, project type is onboarding. Obviously recurrence is one time, because in this case, you do not have onboarding project as a recurring, right? So I'm going to say one time. I'm going to say manager going to be me. Start date is, let's just say June or whatever the due date is. And that's it, like create, correct? So it's pretty straightforward. So now inside this project, you can also manage your onboarding related task here as well, right? So it's pretty straightforward that way, guys. Like in case if you would like to create any sort of different project, you can actually do it from here. And all the tasks, like let's just say if you have three projects, all of the project tasks you can actually now find at the top level, right? So I'm sitting at the firm level, and then now I have tasks across all my project, whether it's onboarding related task, whether it's my close related task, whether it's my like any specific project task, you can actually find it from here. Okay, so that's also possible. Okay, now let me just see. Okay. Yes, Janice, while I'm actually looking at the chat, so that is coming, the Xenett extension. We are kind of revamping it, so that's gonna be available very, very soon. So yes, so that's just temporarily not there, but the QuickBooks extension is what you're referring to. So that's gonna be available as well. Okay. Perfect. So that's that. And then let me just review note. I already talked about it. We, by the way, we also change our client dashboard. So whenever you log into any particular client, we kind of revamped our client dashboard. So on the left hand side, if you have set up any client properties, you can do that. Any like projects overview or client quiz. So this is the place where the idea is like you get to know what is going on with this particular client, right? So and you can customize it as well, right? So you could say, hey, I don't really care about seeing client notes, I don't really care about profit and loss snapshot. Like you can basically enable and disable whatever you would like to see. Okay, so that's that. Uh, Another use case, that another question actually we've been getting from our customer is that for even for existing client, right? So let's just say you wanted to actually create the monthly close for the any previous month. So right now, I mean, I can see there is a May month here. There's a close that I've just created, but now I would like to actually create the close for February, right? Here is what you can do. Just simply click on new, click on project. You could just say, you might just say February 25 close, project type close, obviously. Project manager is this. In the recurrence, you should not select monthly because this is not a kind of a recurring project that you would like to set up. This is just the one time close that you want to have it. Okay, because I already created the recurring project for May, and moving forward, that's going to create me the project for June, July, and so forth. So this one, for the any past close, you would always want to select as one time project, right? And in this case, you're going to say, hey, this is for February, and that's it. Start date is today, whatever the date could be, and then you just simply click on project. Okay. So now your February close is ready. Okay. Now, in this case, what you can also do is that it's gonna obviously come blank. But if you wanted to now import it from your existing project, you just click here, import from project. You just select any existing project, and your close will be ready. Correct. So this is how, in case if you wanted to create any past close, this is how you will be able to do that. Okay. So that's that. Okay. And then one request that we have been getting from a lot of you is like ordering the sections, right? So we are actually working on that, and that's going to be available very, very soon. So let me show you what I mean by that. So right now, if I collapse all the sections, so this is how all of your sections looks like. Right now, I mean, if you wanted to, let's just say, change the order for any of these sections, you can do that by dragging in and like drag and drop, but that is not saving it right now. We are working on that, and that's going to be available very, very soon. Okay. So in case if you would like to change the order of sections, or if you would like to change the order of task, is like the only piece that we are working on. So by simply doing drag and drop, you'll be able to do that. So you guys will get to know very soon when that's actually available. All right. So that's that. Okay. Let me just see what else.
Hardik, I just posted a question. Can you
Yep.
just address that?
Um, you posted questions. Will we be able to copy tasks from client one project to another within the same client? For example, a new client, we may have to do one-time cleanup for a particular accounting period, then we'll need to do monthly close while we're working. 1 second, actually, sorry, I'm actually reading it. Uh, Need to do. We are working on this cleanup. We usually already create monthly tasks in this cleanup project and make adjustment to the task agreement. Right now, there is no way to import this client task apart from general template. So all the tasks done in the cleanup one-time project will have to be done again on the monthly. So yes, I think Vishal, wouldn't that cover with the import from project feature that I was just
Yeah, I
explaining?
mean that's what you covered currently. I just posted it
Oh,
so
okay,
that you
okay,
can,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. So yeah, manual like that feature wasn't there. We actually just made it enable this morning itself. So that is why I think you were, and just as you guys know, I totally understand. Like these are some of the changes you guys may take some time and might get you confused, but trust me, I mean, the intention behind making those changes is to make the overall Xenett experience very, very smoother. We've been making a lot of these changes based on you guys requests. So if you guys have any suggestions, any feedback or any requests, I mean, send it to us. We are working really hard to make it happen, right? So all right, Vishal, and based on the questions, if like, do you think I should be covering anything else? Uh, I'm actually
I'm
looking at
just
the
checking.
chat.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just checking.
So I just Krishnan, can there be a clear for all internal commands? I wasn't sure what do you mean by that. What do you mean by clear actually? So Krishnan, if you can please elaborate on that.
Uh, just I mean there are multiple questions regarding migrating from the older Xenett to the newer Xenett.
Yep.
So just let everybody know that we have already migrated, but just in case if anybody have any problem, they can reach out to us.
Yep, yep. So we have, yeah, been facing some challenges with migrating the data. We have already taken care of that. But if you have any, if you still see any problems, feel free to reach out to support and we'll make sure that we get on it right away. So, okay, we don't have it, Kristen, yet, but it's a good suggestion for sure. We'll certainly take it as a suggestion and we'll certainly work on that. So, we are also working on making this knowledge base available with a lot more videos. It's already in process. So, knowledge base will also be having very, very detailed explanation, the videos and everything, right? But meanwhile, if you guys or if your people, your staff have any questions, let them reach out to us and we'll make sure we answer them. So,
Hardik, if you can just address the recurrence on the to do, like on the non-closed projects.
okay, sure. So, what's going to happen, guys, is that, okay, so there are two kinds of recurrences. Let's just understand that. So, in this case, it's a monthly close, right? So, monthly close in this case, the project itself is being recurring, right? So, like, for example, in this case, right now, it's May. The next recurrence is going to be the June and then for July, right? So, when the project is reoccurring, obviously the task within the project will automatically be recurring, correct? But now we have this project like general task, right? In this case, it's more of like a, imagine like a one place where you don't want this project to reoccur, like it's gonna stay there permanently, but you want the task inside that project to reoccur, right? So to give you a good use case, okay, so every week I have certain tasks that I would like to reoccur every week. In this case, I have this project called general task, wherein I have these three tasks and I would like to set up the recurrence. So what you simply do in that case, let me show you. You just simply click on the task level. In this case, it's don't recur, but you could just say, hey, I want this particular task to recur weekly, right? And then you could say, hey, every week on Tuesday, right? And then you click on submit. So now what's going to happen? This task now going to start recurring every week, right? So in this case, the project itself is not recurring, but the task inside that project will be recurring, correct? So that is how you can also manage your task. So in that case, you don't need to like the good use case here in also is like if you have three tasks that you are doing on a weekly basis, you may not want to create like a weekly project just for those three tasks. Instead, what you can think of doing is you just create this general task as a one time project, and underneath, you just set up those recurring tasks. That's it. So you always have this general task project and all the tasks inside that project will be recurring, right? So like that's a that's like a again a feature that you can also use it smartly, right? So but you don't have to then worry about doing it for monthly close because in this case the project itself is recurring. So
There's one more question regarding the accounts to be marked as reviewed on balance sheet or profit and loss. So
okay,
using the custom fields, I think.
1 second. uh what was that? Can you come again?
Uh, Let me read out.
Yeah.
Is there an easy way to mark accounts on the reports as reviewed?
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So we don't have a way to mark accounts as reviewed, but here is what you can think of doing it. A lot of our customers are doing it this way, right? So let me show you. So you could actually inside the project, right? You create the custom field called review status, right? In this case, I already have it. There is a review status. So let me show you some idea. What our customers are doing is they have created this column called review status, and underneath they have created some values like verified, to review, discuss, and like client question. Once you have created this custom column, what you can then do is that, let me show you. So if I go to monthly close, if I go to reports, you can actually enable that particular column here. Okay, so let me show you. So if you're looking at, I just edited the report inside the general setting. There is a column for review status. You just click on it, and then here you would just say save changes. So now what's gonna happen? You have this custom column here where you could now say, hey, this particular account is verified. This particular account is I need to review or discuss with my manager. And you can, as I told you, you can even customize that as well. So this is how you can actually do it at the account level. But there isn't a way right now to have a status is at the account level. So, but custom field would actually serve the purpose. So perfect. So that's good to know. Are we able to add comments to the trial balance report? I think not yet, but we'll make it available. Yeah, it's not there, but we'll make it available. So Rutvik, if you can please take that as suggestion. Okay. Okay, Christian, I was actually seeing your question about what if oh, sorry, where is that? So Erica, it's gonna be available very soon. I'm talking about being able to export all the comments to Excel. We are already on that, but you might have to just wait for a little more, and then that's gonna be available. Okay. Vishal, anything else? I'm actually looking at all the chat, but yeah. By the way, one more thing that we are like with the project. So eventually, what's gonna happen? Let me show you. So when you're at the top level, and when you are at the project, like here, you can see all the client, all the projects here, right? So eventually what's going to happen in case if you would like to create some views, so you would say, hey, I wanted to see the statuses for all of my onboarding clients, right? In fact, we also introduced this board view. So let me talk about that as well. So let's just say your requirement is like you wanted to see the status for all of your onboarding clients on one page. Here is what you can do. You create the new view. Like once you've created the new view, what you can further do, you can click on filter, and then here you just select the project type as onboarding, correct? And this is where the project type is quite important. If you remember, I showed you guys like why you like how and why you should create the project type, because eventually that will help you filter your reports. And now you click on apply. So now what it's doing is like it's giving you all of your onboarding clients right on one page. Just like that, if you would then like to use if you would then like to see all of your client closes on a separate view, you can even do that way. Here what you do, close statuses overview, right? So let's just say you can click on it and then click on board view and then save. What you further do here is that filter, you're going to say project type as close and then click on apply, and that is it, right? So now you have all of your client close on one page. So that way, in this case, it's all not started, but imagine like that, where in this case, like if you are just changing the statuses, you'll be able to do that as well. Like if you want to change the status from one column to another, you will also be able to do that. So as you can see, some of them are in progress, some of them are finalized. So that is what you'll be able to do. So that was, so I that was the main idea of creating the different views at the project level as well. Okay. And then obviously there are some features here and there. So in case if you would like to change the columns, like you don't want to see due date and start date and last completed on, I mean, things like you can always play around with that as well. All right. Any other questions, guys? Anything we saw that you would like to bulk update the custom review status column? For example, mark multiple. Not there yet right now, Erica, but yes, it's a good suggestion for sure. So we can actually make it happen as well. So again, Rutvik, if you can please take that as suggestions. Yeah. So this is just the start, guys. I mean, we have already started getting a lot of suggestions from you guys. So really, thank you guys. Or I would just say, just be a little more patient. We've been working really hard on that, and we'll make sure we'll kind of getting there. So any other Vishal thing? I mean, any other thing that you would like me to cover? I think we covered everything, right? As we discussed.
Ye- Yes,
Okay.
nothing much now. I'm just checking the chat. Is there
Yeah.
if there's anything, I'll let you know.
Perfect. 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 So guys, yeah, that is it from our end. We'll be kind of making a lot of these improvements over next few weeks. Uh, in fact, we already have, as I told you, been getting a lot of suggestions. We already started shipping some of them already, and we'll also be rolling out some of these changes over a period of next few weeks. And you guys will also get notified as and when we make any new changes, right? So yeah, feel free if you guys notice something, if you have any suggestions, anything like that, please send it our way. We'll be happy to work on that. But this is all from our end for today. Hopefully we also plan to, I mean, by the way, we also have some great new features coming most likely end of this month. That's also gonna revamp the way you guys are reviewing your financial statements. So again, we'll have this kind of webinar very, very soon as well. All right. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you very much. Again, if I have not covered anything, feel free to either reach out to support, or if you have my email, feel free to directly reach out to me as well. All right. So I hope this was helpful. I hope I have addressed some of your questions, concerns, and all I would ask is like just little more patience, and I'm pretty sure you guys will adapt these changes, right? So thank you very much, guys. I appreciate. Thank you for joining in, and thank you very much. All right. Take care.